I forgot to
Singer,
respond.
rapper, and activist David Banner recently stopped by.
I forgot to respond. Which to what? Our next guest is a Grammy Award-winning music producer, rapper, and actor. But when he's not mixing up the hot tracks in the studio, he's out serving the community.
Here to discuss his Heal the Hood Christmas event and his new album, The God Box, is David Banner. Welcome.
Hey, me.
Welcome.
Hey, you.
Yes, you should be patting yourself on the back because you're doing great.
Thank you. Yo, before we start off, man, I just want to say the last time I was here, I don't know what we talked about.
Everything.
But it went viral. I mean, folks in the hood were coming to me as like, man, what you did on Arise, man, was touching. And we got to try to get that magic back.
You can always create the magic here.
Let's try to do that again.
You are the magic.
Right. Well, I think we spoke to the people in the hood, and we're going to do that again by starting off with your organization, the stuff you're doing with Heal the Hood. Tell us about the campaign, because it's basically bringing holiday cheer back to your hometown of Jackson, Mississippi.
Well, Heal the Hood, which is now a derivative of the Banner Foundation, it's something I literally started 9 years ago. And this is a funny story. I started off, I used to get, a considerable amount of money for shows. And like whatever show that I did right before Christmas, I literally took all of that money that I got and I would walk through the worst neighborhoods in Jackson, Mississippi and knock on the door. And be like, here's 100, here's 200, here's 300, and walk from house to house.
How much are we talking about in total, would you say?
A lot. And the reason, let me tell you why.
Okay.
I can't tell you how much money it is. Andre 3000's mother, I was looking for a house in Atlanta, and she told me, she said, you have to be smarter. She said, because the IRS is looking at you. And I didn't think about that. I was just thinking that I was doing something positive for the neighborhood and it was good spirits, but the IRS didn't feel that way. So that's what made me turn the Heal the Hood into an actual organization. And really started giving the right way as far as taxes are concerned.
Right. Okay.
And but let's just say I gave a considerable amount of money.
Well, you're not giving away dollars this time.
No,
what are you guys doing this year?
We're actually we do several things. In some cases, we couple up with some organizations and we find out the needs of families, because what happened the third year is that we were going to people's houses, and let's say if we picked a kid, well, maybe their sisters and their brothers didn't have any toys, or maybe the family didn't have anything to eat. Maybe they didn't have couches in their houses. And then I started figuring is that we have to deal with the direct need of the families, because just for the kids to have toys is not good enough if they don't have nothing to eat. So we do a wide range of things, like provide for the family, whether it's food, whether it's clothing, whether it's immediate needs, and then we give kids toys and bikes and other things that help people get through, the Christmas season. And I'm proud. And this year we're teaming up with the Boys and Girls Club of Central Mississippi. So it's an amazing feeling.
Now, I have to say, I've always been proud of you for this. I've seen you do this type of thing your entire career, and it seems to be a part of the artist that you are. Do you feel like hip-hop in general is responsive enough to our communities?
Well, and my spiritual beliefs now, it's not my place to say what another man should do. I only know what God has put in me. I know what I'm supposed to do as a man. As hip-hop artists, I just think they need to make great songs. But if you are compelled as a man, I don't do this because I'm a rapper. When I was hustling, I was doing the same things for the community. When I was a teacher, I was doing the same thing. When I was a college student, I was doing the same thing. I was fighting for similar things. So that's the fabric of the man that I am. You do it because of the man or woman you are. If you're not that type of man or woman, I don't want you around our kids in our neighborhood anyway, because I don't know what you into, honestly. So I don't think it's about hip-hop, it's about the man or a woman. I want to know what kind of man or woman you are. Just go make your music, because some of these people, I don't want them around my people. I just want them to make music.
I have to say, now that you say that, that's actually something I've been wanting to talk to David Banner about this. Go for it.
She just pushed you out of the way. You can go on break if you want to.
But you brought it up now. Okay, I I have begun to hate hip hop, and I used to love it. I really did. I was raised on it. I've really come to despise it at times.
Don't.
And I guess, well, my question is, I personally, I feel like hip hop has been hijacked by like hookers, hoes, pimps, and thieves.
Well,
and so, but I wonder, do you feel, as an artist that has evolved over, over time in this game, you've been here for a while, do you feel that that type of programming in that area of our culture is by design?
Of course it's by design. And that's the reason why I would tell you not to hate hip-hop. And what I would tell you there's some amazing artists out there. Cyroc, there's Tef Pose, there are your Jasiri X's, there are these great artists. Of course, your Talib Kweli's, your Commons, all of these different rappers. But the thing is, I remember something, I never forget this at all. Y'all don't get scared, but I'm gonna be honest.
Please.
I remember one time, they had this show on Oprah Winfrey where they were talking about hip hop and how negative hip hop was. But it was her birthday that night. So she talked that whole day about how negative hip hop was, but that night she was shaking her ass to 50 Cent, boy. Like, ooh, they're like, go Oprah. And I sort of wish I was there because I would have been like, bah. But
I'm sure that would have went over well.
Yeah, I would have went over well. And I probably would have never got into the Butler,
Never.
but still, I would have enjoyed that moment. But the thing is that people criticize hip hop because it's the easy thing to do. When we don't look at the fabric of America. The fabric of America has been deteriorating recently anyway, and nobody talks about that. Hip hop is only a residual effect of what America is. Look at American TV. It is terrible. Look at America's education. It is terrible.
But only our music seems to be reflected.
No, it's not only our music. Look at television.
Yeah. It's
Look at
a lot of
music
different
as
genres.
a whole.
Well, is that why you choose to take your music in a different direction? For example, the God Box.
Right.
Tell us about your new album and how you're trying to make change with that.
Oh, well, again, it goes back to me. When I stepped away from hip hop initially, and I guess these are the things that people liked about our last interview. I was dying inside. We talked about depression, and I had the #1 single in the nation. And my homeboys in the hood like, dog, what's wrong with you? You have everything. You have a Bentley. You have 2 or 3 houses. You have models calling your manager trying to book you, literally. And it wasn't right. Like, I would walk into clubs, and it literally felt like a vampire movie. Like, it just didn't feel right. So in me saying that, my music changed because my spirit changed.
Well, what was the void in your life? What were you missing out on? You had all those things, but there was something missing. What was it?
I think I was designed, and I think I was put here to be a servant. And when I mean a servant, I don't mean no servant like what y'all see in The Butler and those movies. I don't mean that. I believe that I'm a servant of my people. And I believe even if you look at figures like Christ, they say that he was the Son of God, but he still washed people's feet. That's what made him Christ. He had the opportunity to be a God-like figure and a ruler, but he was humble enough to serve his people. Jesus was a servant. Real kings are supposed to serve their people. And the reason why they accrued so many riches is because they're such a great servant. So if you rule over 100,000 people and you're a great servant, if you get $100 from 100,000 people, you got bank. That's the reason why my soul and my spirit was not right, because I wasn't in line in what I was supposed to be doing, and that was serving my people. I can go to sleep at night,
And so has that made your music evolve? And how will this album different from others now that you've found yourself?
Well, one thing I think what happens is that, first of all, before anything, I'm a businessman. And I understand that this is a business.
Still have to make some money.
One of the bad things about so-called positive rappers, and why a lot of the positive rappers don't do better, is because their music sucks.
I concur.
The beats are not dope. The lyrics are cool because they just want to rap for themselves, but the hooks are not good. I don't care what you rapping about. You still have to compete with Lil Wayne. You still got to compete with David Banner. You still got to compete with Drake. You still got to compete with Snoop. Just because you're doing Christian music or positive music, whatever you deem better music, it still has to sonically compete, and in most cases, it doesn't.
I have to ask you, what has been the best generation, best era of hip hop for you?
I think all of them are great. I think this generation is great for what it is.
Your favorite?
Yeah, my favorite. I don't really have a favorite because I love music. I think music is, again, just a reflection. And I think time is what it is, and it is what it's supposed to be. We are supposed to be in this era right now. And I'll give you an example. I think because of the times, my album is what it is. If stuff was great, then I think I would just have a subpar album. Because of the times, I think I'm going to have one of the greatest albums in the last 10 years because these times pushed me to that. Black people are in a crucible in general right now, and it's going to make us become the diamonds that we always were supposed to be because of the pressure of the times. And I am happy to be in this era. I am happy to be in these times.
Let's talk about that pressure. Eric Garner and Mike Brown, how do you feel about that?
You do. You are enjoying yourself. Go, girl. I've been waiting on you with the David
talking about the pressure.
We got to get these numbers up. It's amazing that you asked me about that. America is showing the fabric of what it's always been. Statistically, America has always sacrificed black men and women since we came to these shores by them. The aggression towards black people have always been the same. But the thing that I have a problem with is them painting black people as being the aggressors. When the truth is, if you study history, I'm saying old, O-L-D, white men have always been the aggressors. Look at the Native Americans. I don't even have to go any further than that. We are living on their land, and when the last time you seen a Native American walk around? They kill millions of buffalo and Native Americans and Africans and any indigenous people that you have ever met all around the world.
So what's the solution for you to keep, our young black men who are unarmed from dying at the hands of the police?
Are you sure you want this one?
Yes.
Okay.
We got 1 minute.
I think America doesn't fear but two things. I think it fears the loss of life and the loss of finances. If we don't make people fear, think about what happened to Eric Garner. This is the problem that I really have. The police have always done what they've done to us historically. The only reason why you see it now is because of cell phones, and now they're trying to pass laws to say that it's illegal in some states to film cops. Why? Because they're doing something wrong and you know it. But the problem that I have, how many people in the neighborhood stood around while that happened? Think about when our parents were in Oakland and in these different places like that.
What
certain
they
neighborhoods.
have done?
Oh yeah, I think they should have done something to the cops personally. That's my personal belief. It has nothing to do.
We
That's
may
my
have more
disclaimer.
deaths on our hands if we do that, though.
Well, they're killing us anyway. But what I know that would happen if we by right have the right to defend ourselves if they are wrong, and they were wrong. I'm not saying that you should do anything to anybody if they're wrong, but you do have the right as a human being, not a citizen of America, to protect yourself. And they were wrong. They were the aggressors, and they choked that man to death. And we sat around and watched it. And that's somebody's child. Would you let somebody choke your child?
Absolutely.
Would you let somebody choke your child?
I'm
Hell
jumping in.
no.
I'm jumping in.
So until we protect our people when they are right, let me
They're
say
right.
when they are right,
Big difference.
I think people will respect that, and they'll think different. If something happened, people will respect it and think about it different the next time.
Well, we definitely respect you and all
Absolutely.
that you do. Thank you so much
That
for
was like
getting
Darren
back.
Banner. We gotta get Darren Banner. He gotta get Darren Banner. He just threatened the cops. Let's get him out of here. That's it. Thank you.
No, the conversation we've been waiting for.
We'll keep going for days, so
It was
we do have to
everything I
wrap it
thought
up.
it would be.
We'll have you back again, and we'll
Thank you,
continue
brother.
this
I hope.
discussion. Yeah, we will have you back. Don't worry. Always good to have you, brother.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
Thank
much for
you.
being here, and we'll be right back with more Rise Entertainment 360.